All right, ready to unlock some ancient secrets for a better life. Let's dive into Proverbs, chapters 10 through 15 specifically.
Oh, yeah. Those are packed with wisdom for pretty much everything.
Well, we're using this script from a podcast called Scripture Straight Talk. Seems like a good place to start, right?
Definitely. Should give us a solid foundation.
So it's not so much about hard and fast rules.
No, more about, understanding how our choices play out.
The ripple effects.
Exactly. It's all about developing wisdom,
Yeah.
making choices that lead to a good life, a fulfilling life.
It kind of throws you right in. Proverbs 10.1.
Oh, yeah.
A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother.
Ooh, heavy stuff.
Right. It's like, bam. Our actions, good or bad, they hit the people closest to us.
It's so true. This idea that our actions have a ripple effect,
Yeah.
far beyond ourselves. It's like we're all connected.
Our families, our friends.
Our communities, everyone.
It's making me think about those sliding door moments.
Ah.
One decision, and your life goes one way or another. And not just you.
Everyone around you, too.
And then there's this whole idea of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs 10.22, the blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it.
Interesting. So it makes you think about what richness really is.
Right. Not just money, that's for sure. But it's more than just money can't buy happiness. Like, God's blessing brings wealth.
Yeah.
That doesn't have any sorrow attached to it.
Right. That deeper kind of contentment, I think. A peace that comes when your life has a purpose beyond just, material stuff.
And that kind of wealth sticks with you.
Yeah. Through the good times and the bad. It's not just about a fleeting moment of happiness.
So is this talking about spiritual wealth?
Maybe. Could be. It definitely points in that direction, this deep-seated joy, inner peace. That comes from, I think, from living a life with a greater purpose.
Then there's this whole thing about words.
Oh, yeah.
They can be powerful.
So powerful.
Proverbs 10.1 says, the mouth of a righteous man is a well of life.
Think about that in our world today. Everything's so connected. Words can spread.
Like wildfire?
Exactly. It makes you stop and think. Are we building people up with our words?
Or tearing them down?
Are we offering encouragement or just adding to the negativity?
It reminds me of this time years ago. Someone said something to me about a project I was working on. It was just so dismissive,
Yeah.
And it stuck with me. It really showed me the power of words, how much they can hurt.
It's true. And it's not just the words themselves.
Yeah.
Right? It's the tone, the intention behind them.
Like Proverbs 15.1 says, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger.
You can disarm a tense situation with the right approach.
But even if you mean well.
If your words are harsh, it just makes things worse.
Communication is a two-way street.
Always.
How we say things matters as much as what we say.
Now let's talk about integrity. Proverbs 11 dives into that. Verse 1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight.
That's not just about being honest in business.
No, it's bigger than that.
It's about fairness in everything.
It really makes you think about what we see happening in the world,
Oh, yeah.
Like corporate scandals, all that stuff, even the little lies we tell ourselves.
True integrity is about more than just following the rules.
Absolutely.
It's about a deeper sense of right and wrong. And I think that's more relevant now than ever.
I agree. It's interesting, though, how this verse connects honesty with God being pleased.
Right.
It's not about avoiding punishment. It's about, living a life that's morally right.
It sets a higher standard.
It does. It's not just about being good enough.
It's about trying to live in a way that reflects, a deeper sense of what's right, what's wrong.
And on that note, Proverbs 11.14 has some advice for us. Where no counsel is, the people fall.
Ah.
But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
Seek advice from others, right?
Yeah.
This reminds me of this time I was thinking about making a big career change. I was so focused on what I wanted, I almost didn't listen to some really good advice from a mentor. It was a wake-up call. I needed other people's perspective.
The verse says multitude for a reason. Don't just get one person's opinion.
Be open to different viewpoints.
Exactly.
See the bigger picture. Right?
Yeah. It's tough, though, sometimes.
Totally. But those different viewpoints, even if they're hard to hear, they can be so valuable.
It's about humility. Being willing to admit, hey, maybe I don't have all the answers.
And being open to learning.
Exactly. And you know what else is important? Generosity.
Oh, yeah.
Proverbs 11.25 lays it out. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself.
It's like this beautiful image of like give and take.
Yeah, a cycle. It's not just one way.
Yeah.
Generosity comes back to you.
Everyone wins.
Both the giver and the receiver. They're both enriched. And it's not just material,
No, it's deeper than that.
The language here is so interesting. The liberal soul shall be made fat.
I love that.
That's like generosity. It nourishes us deep down.
It's about having a spirit of abundance.
Right. And that benefits everyone around you.
And generosity isn't just about money.
No, absolutely not.
It can be your time, your skills, just being there for someone, like maybe volunteering or being a mentor or just, being a good friend when someone needs it.
It's about recognizing all the different ways we can help others, no matter what our situation is.
And all this selflessness, it ties into Proverbs 12.5. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise.
Oh, that's a good one. It's about pride, isn't it?
Yeah, the danger of thinking we know everything. When we're full of pride, we can't see our own faults, can't grow.
It's like trying to get through a maze without looking at a map. You're just going to get lost.
We've all been there, though, right? Thinking we've got it all figured out, and then, oops. Exactly. It's humbling, but it's how we learn.
Humility, it lets us admit our weaknesses, ask for help.
And ultimately make better decisions.
Speaking of which, Proverbs 12.22 brings us back to honesty. It says, lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight.
Honesty isn't just a social thing, is it? It's something God values.
Deeply. It's about living by a higher standard of truth, and especially now, with all the misinformation out there.
It feels more important than ever.
It is. Honesty is how we build trust.
And trust is the foundation of any strong relationship.
With God, with other people, it all starts with trust.
So then we come to Proverbs 13.4. It says, the soul of the sluggard desireth, and hath nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat.
This feels like it goes beyond just working hard.
Yeah, it's about more than just putting in the hours. It's about, I think, the state of our inner being, our soul.
What do you mean?
It's the difference between wanting something and actually going after it.
The sluggard, they might have dreams.
But they don't do anything about them.
No action, no results.
But the diligent person, they find fulfillment in the process, in the striving, It's like that saying, the journey is the reward.
Exactly.
The satisfaction comes from putting in the work.
The effort, the dedication, all of it.
And that brings us to the idea of legacy. Proverbs 13.22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children.
That's beautiful. And again, it's about more than just money, right?
Yeah, it's about passing down values, wisdom, a way of life, and not just for your kids.
For generations to come.
It makes you think, what kind of impact do I want to leave on the world?
What kind of legacy?
Especially with all the challenges facing the next generation.
Our choices matter. They have consequences that ripple out.
It adds a level of responsibility to everything we do.
And with responsibility comes the need for discernment. Proverbs 14.1 warns us, there is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
It's a reminder that we don't always know what's best, what seems right to us.
Might not be.
Yeah, it can lead to problems down the road.
We need to step back, get advice,
Yeah.
really think things through.
Because sometimes what seems like a good idea,
It's not.
you get caught up in the excitement and you don't see the downsides.
We need guidance. We need wisdom that goes beyond our own understanding.
And that leads us to Proverbs 14.26. In the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge.
That's about finding true security.
The phrase fear of the Lord can be a little intimidating.
It can.
But it's not about being terrified, is it?
No. It's about reverence,
Yeah.
respect,
And that leads to confidence.
security. It's about recognizing a power greater than ourselves, a source of wisdom,
Someone we can rely on.
especially when things are uncertain, when life gets tough.
It's like having that rock, that unwavering support no matter what. And in this world, with all the craziness, it's pretty amazing.
It's about finding that center, that peace. And speaking of navigating tough stuff, Proverbs 15.1 comes back to this idea of our words. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger.
Our tone can totally change a whole conversation.
Right. It can. We've all been there. Things get heated, and then, bam, it explodes.
But maybe with a little patience, a little understanding.
Exactly. The verse is saying, respond with grace, even when someone's pushing your buttons.
It doesn't mean you're being passive. or a pushover.
No, it's about choosing your words carefully. De-escalate the situation.
Don't add fuel to the fire.
Right. Create space for a real conversation.
Be the thermostat, not the thermometer. You set the temperature.
Love that. And finally, there's this beautiful verse, Proverbs 15.33. It connects humility to wisdom and honor. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility.
Full circle. We've been talking about humility, how it helps us learn, but here it's like humility is what leads to honor.
It's a paradox, isn't it?
The more humble we are, the more we're lifted up.
In a way, it's like by humbling ourselves.
We're actually making ourselves greater.
Exactly. We're opening ourselves up to true wisdom, true honor.
So, big picture, what are the big takeaways from Proverbs 10:15? What wisdom can we actually use in our lives?
For me, the main thing is this. Real wisdom comes from living God's way, making choices that reflect His character, integrity, generosity, humility,
Honesty, diligence.
leaving a good legacy. It's all connected.
And it's a journey, right? Not a destination.
It's ongoing. We're always learning, growing, trying to live the right way for God and for each other.
Proverbs challenges us to think about our choices, to look beyond ourselves, to seek wisdom. And you know what? That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to discover in these chapters. Keep digging, keep seeking wisdom, and you'll find those treasures. Until next time, stay curious.